vision memory with the banana slug.
The question on my brain is the appropriateness of sharing some of these.
have you have you noticed I tend to ask these sort of questions once we've been talking for an hour and you forgot.
Right.
The terrible I find quite difficult to answer these because I don't feel like I have
Well, that's
memories,
kind of where I'm going to.
yet I have PTSD. Terrible memories. Like, I'll get flashbacks and it's horrible and it's quite destructive, very intrusive. But if it's your most terrible memory, which is kind of weird for me.
I have one, and it's certainly not on the list of the most physically or even traumatic experiences, but the impact that it had, even though it was completely benign in theory, like may have been the most damaging. And I was in high school. It was my senior year. And let's just be clear, I won awards for being well rounded. Well done. You can't focus. Good job. Here's a trophy. My picture was on almost every page of the yearbook.
Oh wow! So you were
Because
that was in every club.
I was in every club. I was president of every club. Yeah. I,
Your poor little adolescent brain is just going. There is not enough stimulation here. I need to be involved in.
and I did.
Yep. And
I did very, actually. It was probably a peak moment in a nice, safe little bubble where I could do all of those varied things and have it be tied into one experience in a way. But my best friend took my yearbook and commented on every picture, basically being like, there she is again. There she is again. And it was like this shaming of the fact that I had done as much as I had done. And probably came from a place of jealousy, but it shut something down in me that I think I'm still recovering from. We were in England. It was, you know, I went to a school with 400 kids in it. And I think in that moment, and maybe I'd been feeling it a little bit before because if I was getting my yearbook, I knew I was going to college already. But I had made the decision that when I went to college, I was going somewhere where I could get lost in a crowd, where no one would be able to see my face in the yearbook pictures. And I did. Like I went to the biggest school I could find and I literally disappeared myself. And I think, yeah, that one did some damage. That one did some damage.
so
Mm.
isn't fun. That is almost a feature or a character.
Except
Is
she was American.
she was American? Really? That's so much worse. She was enculturated so quickly. We have a huge problem with tall poppies.
I wouldn't call it that, but I can imagine what you mean. I
Yeah,
mean, yeah,
that's like we
basically.
actually, Commonwealth nations, we have a phrase for it. We're so good at it. We're so well versed in it. And I know it comes from being descendants of British people, is anybody that rises above, we want to chop them down really.
Yeah.
And it
But
doesn't
you
matter.
don't think it's just human?
I think it might be more human than anything, but I've always heard it referred to as a distinctly Commonwealth.
Because I'm watching my daughter and her friends do it to each other at
Oh,
6 and
really?
7 years of
Okay.
age.
So maybe it's just a human thing that we don't like people for something and we just want to just.
I think maybe there are other cultures that probably celebrate better.
I, I hope.
Yeah, but totally tall poppy syndrome. And I let them chop me down. That's the part that sucks, right? She could have I could have I could have just let that be water off my back and I didn't.